What's up, everyone? Ryquis here, back with more StarCraft 2 action. But first, we need to have a small talk. Feel free to skip forward to the game and some fun drinking rules associated to the real HomeStory Cup. But before that, I need to make clear that I've deleted the videos that I've made that cover the Gamers 8 StarCraft event. And I will not be covering games from that event anymore. More information on more grimy sides and details of that event can be found in the description, where I will link a Richard Lewis video that explains some of the moral questions at play here. Simply put, it's about sports washing, and I realize that I'm, in a way, actively normalizing the event and its organizing parties by making my content for free here. I'm compromising my morals for free. I believe everybody has a price and a different situation, different needs, etc. So I don't condemn anybody working that event, but I have decided for myself that I should not associate myself with that event and the organizing parties at this time. In my eyes, I made a mistake, and I hope to do better in the future. So, sorry for putting my head in the sand. And with that, let's jump into this game between Liquid's Elazer and Kelazhur just left Liquid, I'm pretty sure. So it's just Kelazhur right now, but maybe he was still in Liquid at the time of this tournament. Of course, with the real HomeStory Cup came a couple of drinking rules I will be showing on screen right now. What I will be drinking, it's a lovely Liquor 43 creme, creme liquor that is a limited edition right now, and it's the creme brulee flavor, which I've been enjoying as of late. Be sure to comment down below what you will be drinking. I will be accepting tea, espresso shots for the real ones out there, or just, water's fine as well. Just be sure you drink with us. It's all in good fun. And Kelazhur actually doing double factory here, so let's look at what will be happening with those double factory. But before then, let's talk about the rules. I'll be putting them on screen as well. We drink when there's a nuke launched. The first nuke, let's just do every nuke. A mothership is built. We see a proxy 2 racks. Not this game. A player loses their Reaper. Let me see. There was no Reaper lost this game. There has been no interaction this game. Great talking game. And 20 workers die or more in the counter. So that's one to look out for, especially with all these Hellions coming out. Blueflame Hellions, perhaps. More than 8 command centers are built. It says in a Spirit game, but it could be any Terran game, in my opinion. And every 25 minutes in a game. Or when somebody complains about balance. There were a couple more, but those were, well, very specific to the stream. So if you hear me complaining about the balance, be sure to let me know in the comments. I will retroactively take those shots at the start of the next game. So, now heading into the game, really, we haven't seen a lot of interaction here, but the Blueflame is halfway done. We see 3 Hellions being built at a time. Let's see. Yes, Kelazhur is pulling up those Hellions at home. And Elazer is out here to see it. We see 2 more Hellions. That's not too weird to see for Elazer. If I was him, I would not be tipped off just yet, right? You just don't know. You see 2 more Hellions. You've been seeing 4. Now you see 6. Still Red Flame. So you're not too afraid here, just making drones. No roaches. No baneling nest. This could be pretty hairy. Not a huge queen count either, just a normal one. Is he going to make a CC on location? That's boss move. Now this is a lot of Hellions. It's like 10 Hellions. And they're running in. Roach Warren halfway done. Nice queen block. What a move. Oh, and he reveals the Blueflame. Roasts all of those lings. But the queens are here. This is like 8 queens, 9 queens, 10 queens. Bullying away these Hellions. And we do see some drones falling here. But that's not as many drones as Kelazhur was dreaming of. Only 6 drones. No shots for us. Some punishment on the hatchery here. And we do see a nice BC follow-up. CC being built on location. And what the hell? 12 drones more die. They were all stacked up there by this. Wow, what a Hellion run by. Even I missed it. That's not 20, guys. That's not 20. And we see a Spire underway for a Elazer. He's sniffing out these battle cruisers because he has seen it. He probably sent in an Overlord. And so we see an Spire responds with 1, 2, 3 spores. 14 drones underway because Elazer wants to really shoot ahead in workers right now. No 4th base because it's very hard to defend it. Never mind, he's going to be taking that 4th base. Well, I guess he knows it's only 1 port BC. BC is now teleporting into the natural. Let's see how many drones will die here. He's killed quite a few drones this game. 13. Oh, the counter hadn't reset yet. Okay. That's like, wow, he killed 13 drones there? But he actually only killed a couple extra. And as you can see, 4th base, pretty hard to defend against a BC. But you have to try, right? It's not that big of an investment. See a couple more Blueflame Hellions touring around the map here. See this barracks floating out into the map. Almost feeling like Brood War. Not that you can prove that I ever cast that game now. And we see 2 more factories coming out, so it's going to make 5 factories and a singular armory. Hellions running around. 4th and 5th base being established. Elazer really wants a 4th base. Doesn't really care which position now. BC can only delete 1 of them, and now the Corruptors are here. 8 of them deemed sufficient by Elazer to deal with this 1 battlecruiser. And really interesting to see that. Kelazhur opted to only... Oh, it's actually 2. Never mind. There's 2 battlecruisers, but not anymore. I don't know if he actually scanned. He did not. He didn't know that there was a Spire, but he elected not to make... I never... What am I even talking about? This guy is going to make BCs anyways, even though the skies are being ruled by Corruptors. I guess BCs do ward off any ground assault that could come in, which is kind of difficult to defend with the low amount of mech that Kelazhur has right now. 3 tanks, decent amount, but it would still be spooky if there were a bunch of roaches invading his 3rd base right now. But this is a pretty nice defensive setup for Kelazhur right now. We see +1 is underway. Gonna help with one-shotting those Zerglings with the siege tanks. Not with the Hellbats anymore, sadly. We see another depot wall added on. Interesting to see Kelazhur go for mech on this map. Hecate LC, which is of course a new map, which I haven't seen a lot of yet, so it's pretty interesting to see these 2 players play it. We see more Yamato cannons one-shotting those Corruptors. Ooh, Zergling run by almost goes in. We see this is still an old Cyclone, I think. Ravager Ling goes in and breaks through the siege line. If Elazer manages to reset the siege tank count, this is a really nice assault by him. We only see 2 siege tanks remaining, which basically means that it's going to be really hard for Kelazhur to establish a 4th base. And that's the big thing here. You want to delay that 4th base as much as possible and basically never allow a mech Terran to take a 5th. If Elazer can establish that, make that a truth, make that a reality, and then we're in for a Zerg win. We see double Evo coming out. He actually did not upgrade at all. So Kelazhur has an upgrade lead here, and we see the 4th base going down here. Interested to see what Elazer is going to be doing about that, if anything at all. This is, of course, kind of a gnarly ramp to attack up into. This ramp you never want to go up to, and while this seems like a decent place to attack, but if there's a bunch of tanks there, then still kind of difficult. But instead, Elazer looks to be allowing this 4th base for now, and instead just takes the whole map. Oh, this is an interesting base with half gold, half blue minerals. I like that. That's cool. The blue minerals are mostly the small ones. Interesting, interesting. Let's see what Elazer goes into regarding his army. He's going into a lot of Ravagers, which are obviously very good against siege tanks, if it's not like a lot of siege tanks. If that makes sense. Like, they can corrosive bile and run away, and then they do take some losses, but they take kind of minimal losses. But if it's a lot of siege tanks, then the Ravagers die before they even get off their spell, and then it's kind of not worth it. And here goes a 5th base of Kelazhur, and this, I feel like, should not be allowed by Elazer. He does see it now. He's breaking down some rocks. How does that work? I mean, it's still cool. It's still cool. You can't deny that it's cool. And we see Kelazhur moving his whole force to the 5th base location here. Rocks are still in place, which is nice for Kelazhur's defensive position. A lot of Hellbats here. And, ooh, there we see the corrosive biles coming into play. Sniping those siege tanks. And retreating. See some more Cyclone upgrades. +2 is underway. And corrosive biles get another siege tank here. Also chip a battle cruiser here. And for now, Elazer does manage to delay this 5th base, where the gases are the most important part, and they're pretty snipeable from here. Sorry about that, the cat wanted out. So Kelazhur actually getting to establish this 5th base. I'm kind of getting worried for Elazer here. He is progressing in all of his upgrades though. So maybe he just is very confident in his ability to crack this, well, turtle mech. Crack the shell of the turtle, as we say. We do see a lot of bases have been taken by the Zerg. This gold base was actually denied. Probably by the battle cruisers. Did not manage to see that. Maybe it was just the Hellion Cyclone Force, but it was denied regardless. Thor's underway now, and we do see 3 barracks with tech labs and a Ghost Academy. I think we might be in for a drink, guys. Because there will be nukes. At some point. If this game goes long, there will be nukes. And again, the battle cruisers manage to get off their Yamato cannons, and they teleport out, ready to get repaired by the SCVs and do it all over again. Nice Spinecrawler wall here against any Hellion run-bys, and we see more command centers going down. Hi-yi-yi, 8 command centers are built. I don't know how many he has, but I think he has enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has over 8 command centers. So that's a drink. Cheers to you all. That hit the spot. And now what is Elazer going to do? He does have some infestery boys here with Neural Parasite. Doesn't have the energy though. We see +3 attack and range attack coming out. We see +1 armor for the air. We see double hybrid bases? What is this called? It's not a gold base, but it's also not a blue base. It's a disco base, I don't know. Rainbow base. Let's call it a rainbow base. They should have given one rich geyser as well. Oh, there go the neurals. This is some shades of Cyril. I feel like I saw Cyril do this in the past. Oh my... Woo-hoo-hoo! He clumped up the battle cruisers and killed them in one fell swoop with the corrosive bile. Now that's efficiency. He only used energy and cooldowns to kill all of those battle cruisers. That feels good. And wow, Kelazhur actually just flying out of CC to try and take a 6th base on this map. Maybe Elazer feels comfortable on this map just knowing that both of the rainbow bases will be his to take. And then he just has way more bases. He effectively has 2 bases more than Kelazhur because he takes one away from him and takes it for his own. So he'll just have way more resources to trade effectively. Thor switching to their high impact load, which... goddamn, those things shred air units. Especially Broodlords, which are not on the field, but we do have a Greater Spire, so we might see them in the future here. Damn. We've been slowly inching towards more of a supreme late game right now. We're still firmly in the late game, I would say, but at some point we're gonna have all the upgrades. And all the money in the world. 6th base for Kelazhur is being denied by the Corruptors using their caustic spray on it. Cracklings are no joke. These 2 siege tanks are not happy that they found those cracklings, but maybe it was Kelazhur just losing a little bit of army supply because he feels like the tanks are not going to be useful anymore. We see a bunch of banelings here. Banelings are really good against Ghost. And they can be okay against Thors, but mostly good against the Hellbat Ghost. And of course, getting onto the SCVs, getting onto the Planetary. Those banelings definitely have their use, and as long as you have a big bank, banelings are worth it. And here comes a big baneling run by number 1 with big baneling run by number 2. And we see them going into the Thors, not doing much, trying to look for those ghosts. More banelings come in onto the ghosts or the Thors and the ghosts, but Elazer's army gets cleaned up here. On the other side of the map, though, the banelings did their job and more. A lot of SCVs died. 12 of them. And the PF did get killed, but now Elazer is being denied a base because Kelazhur says no more. You just lost half your army there. What do you have to defend your base? And now Elazer comes in with some tier 2 units. Lings and Roaches coming in. Actually really effective against the slow shooting Thor. And even though the Thors do have a little bit of splash damage, they're not super cost effective against these massable units in the Roach, Baneling, and Zergling. And now we have a counterattack by Elazer. We just slingshot it back across the map. Ghost trying to get their snipes off on anything they can to kill this Roach force and help Kelazhur consolidate his base, because losing this base over here, this 5th base, would spell disaster, especially after losing this 4th base over here. 6th base, of course, never got established. And he's going to try it again now, Kelazhur, taking this 6th base on the top side rainbow base. And here are the Broodlords. Not as fast as they are in the new patch, but definitely more mighty and fearsome, because these broodlings actually stay alive for a couple seconds. That was a balance wine, I'm sorry. That's another drink, boys. Cheers. Banelings head into the PF, kill it, Broodlord. Oh my god, he just fucking ran in and killed all of this stuff, and now Kelazhur is in a bit of a bind. He can't really re-establish his 4th, even though this is a decent ramp to hold. He spread a little thin trying to keep this 5th, and now establishing a base at the Rainbow base as his new 4th base. Broodlords trying to do some damage here, targeting the sensor tower and this lone siege tank who's in a really nice position there. What is Kelazhur to do against these Broodlords? He needs to get some snipes off. He needs to get more Thors or the Vikings. He does have an answer against these Broodlords, and there are no Corruptors that I can see. So, only the Queens and maybe the Infestors can help. More Banelings. Damn. Imagine that. You play a game against a late-game mech army, and your answer is, well, I'm just gonna make a couple Banes. I'll be fine. Banelings truly are a good unit, huh? And the Rainbow Base does get shut down. Snipes on the Ravagers do take down a couple Ravagers there. Oh, nice Fungals, but big EMPs render all of these Infestors useless right away. Feels bad, man. And the Broodlords come in to be scary once more. But Broodlords are still pretty scared of getting sniped by these ghosts. More Thors and Vikings coming in. Like, look at Elazer's production tab. He's just making anti-Broodlord stuff right now. But not anti-Zergling stuff. And even though there are some +3 Hellbats here deleting these, he's getting overrun here. And Kelazhur GG's out of this game. And Elazer takes game number 1. And we're headed into game number 2 here on Hard Lead LC. I presume that LC means something like ladder contest or map contest. So basically maps that aren't in the map pool yet, but they are there for the liquid map contest, for example. That was a pretty wild late game fight by Kelazhur and Elazer. I am actually pretty impressed by Elazer's confidence in that game. Because mech can be pretty scary if you just kind of let them get their 3-3 upgrades, get them set up on the map, let them get their ghosts, let them get their Thors, and what have you. But Elazer walked that line pretty nicely. He was like, okay, I'm gonna do some damage, I'm gonna reset your army count with a nice attack, which didn't kill Kelazhur, but it definitely crippled him because there were a lot of siege tanks lost, and suddenly you have to remake those, which are pretty expensive early on. Because if you already have 8 siege tanks, you can obviously make some other units, but if you have to remake 8 siege tanks, that could be more factories, that could be other units, that could be more upgrades, that could be teching up, etc. But now you have to remake all those siege tanks to even stay alive, rendering Kelazhur pretty immobile in that game. And so Elazer could just expand out, get all his tech, get all the map, and then he just exploded into unit production, and he never let up a 6th base for Kelazhur. He had to fight for the 5th, and he never got a 6th base. And he did it with, well, honestly, kind of a strange army composition with just a lot of banelings. One drone was actually lost to the Reaper. Reaper has 14 health left, so it can poke a little. One drone left by Elazer, that's gotta feel bad, man. Although, I'm pretty sure he won't feel that bad, because he won that first game fairly convincingly in my eyes. Kelazhur's making a starport here, probably going to be Hellion Banshee now. Because I wouldn't expect another Blueflame Hellion opener. I did think it was pretty cool by Kelazhur to go for that Blueflame Hellion opener and then into a quick +3 vehicle weapons and Hellbats, because of course they used to one-shot the Lings in this patch. So we actually see a Viking here and a Marauder. Is this going to be a Hellbat Marauder all-in? There should be an armory building at some point. Wow, the Marine is actually patrolling to make sure that no Overlord can sneak in. So, going to be seeing an armory made? Or what is this? We see another Marauder. I haven't seen any concussive shell building. There it is, concussive shell. What is this little SAV going to do? We see a medevac. This has to be an armory, right? And there it is, an armory. Okay. So I'm putting my money on a vicious Marauder Hellbat attack that is honestly just really annoying to hold. You can put 4 Marauders in the medevac, they won't know what hit them. Elazer just droning up on his side of the map, getting a decently fast lair actually. Not using his gas for anything else but speed. No banelingness whatsoever, it's just a lair. So I wonder what he will be using that for. Medevac comes out with 3 Marauders and a medevac. This is spooky. No banelings here, and we see 6 queens, 7 queens. And here are the Marauders slowing down and targeting down these queens. The Hellbat transformation completes. And this is a pretty spooky force if you don't have spines, if you don't have roaches, if you don't have queens, if you don't have banelings. And Elazer is quickly losing a lot of those things, or just doesn't have them at all. And wow, just like that, Kelazhur punches Elazer in the throat and takes the game. And with those quick moves, Kelazhur takes the second game of this best of 3, putting Elazer on the back foot. Elazer just won a pretty long game on Hecate, but now we are in game 3, Goldenaura LC. Never seen this map before either. I wonder if this blue stuff is actually water. We are going to be seeing that. It's all low ground. That's kind of cool. All the blue stuff is low ground. Let's see if Elazer has anything cheeky. Nope, he's just going for the hatch first gas pool opener. Nothing crazy like a pool first that Cyril did in the last HomeStory Cup quite a bit. And with success. It looked very solid when he did it. Kelazhur going for another Marine opener without a Reaper. Actually sending his Marine across the map. I guess he's just trying to catch this Overlord so far. And perhaps going for a quick factory once more. Pretty interesting to see Kelazhur just opening up a lot with factory play. Only made a Reaper in the second game, I think. And now, wow. This Overlord has to go back to this high ground. Can he make that? I presume he can. One Marine isn't that good. I mean, they're good, but they're not that good, right? I don't think this is balance wine, guys. Ooh, 16 health. And we see Reactor, Factory. Are we going to see another Blueflame Hellion attempt? Or just another Hellion Banshee? We see Starport building. And this barracks will be landing. Maybe we'll do an add-on. We see double Hellion coming out and attack lab. So yes, probably, most likely Hellion Banshee here. On the laser side of things, just normal stuff. Not even mining gas anymore, just getting the speed and droning. Getting his queens, getting a couple defensive links at some point. But mostly just focusing on the dronage and connecting his third base to his creep, or connecting his natural and third base using the creep. 2 Hellions looking to get a little something done here. They want to deny a cheeky, greedy creep tumor going out. But nothing of the sort happens. Quick third command center here by Kelazhur. So going for a more economical game this time around instead of another quick rush that we saw in the second game, which that was a sharp-ass build, and, well, Elazer just got caught with his pants down, and suddenly he was just dead. It was basically a gotcha moment. We see more Hellions coming out. The one Banshee is now out floating about, but no cloak. So we see another tech lab being built by this barracks, but no extra barracks. So could it be that he's going mech again? I only see 2 gases though. But at this point it could be either. Hellions run into the 3rd. Get 7 drones here. Queens and Lings do manage to hold off this assault, but not before losing 7 droney boys, and a spore does go down in most of the bases. Gas is now being mined. Lair's almost done, so Elazer is doing a pretty similar thing to game 2, but now he won't get snuffed out. We see a bunch of barracks building, and it's going to be bio play by the Terran player. Double engineering bay on the way. And we're probably going to be seeing a 4th base from Elazer, cheeky baneling nest, maybe some evo chambers. Nothing indicates that he wants to attack, so... And Kelazhur just building up a giant infrastructure here. Bunch of barracks, 5 barracks, almost completed. About to land his... Ooh, this is an interesting wall. Look at this. Instead of just making more supply units, you had 1 Hellion there. I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. 3rd base is here. Wants to land, but this cheeky Zergling is delaying it for at least 2 seconds now. It could take a close look at this timer. That's delaying the CC for at least 10 seconds. That's pretty good. Not that he has any workers that want to mine there right now. It's still annoying. We see a Spire underway for the Zerg here. I love Spire before Evo Chambers. Yes, this is the type of build that I would love to play against Terran as well. Where you just go up to 3 bases, you get your gases, you get a Lair and a Spire. Meanwhile, you do get a Baneling Nest and Baneling Speed. But if you're greedy, you skip the Baneling Speed for a little bit. And he was pretty greedy here. He skipped that Baneling Speed and he's making 7 mutas before making anything else. Yeah, the build is to now make evos, start speed, and then you don't make any more mutas until you've started your +1/+1 upgrades and your Baneling speed. And then after that, you take your 4th base, you get those gases, and then you can make some more mutas again. But it's just mutas and drones until you've saturated your 4th base. Unless there is an attack that forces you to make those Banelings. And we do see Baneling speed now, but there's an attack on his creep, kind of contesting his 4th base as well. But mostly just the creep. So this kind of looks like a 2-1-1 attack, but it comes after the Hellion Banshee. A little weird. I haven't really seen the Banshees do anything useful other than poke around and about. We do see a 4th base coming out for Kelazhur as well. And here's a nice cute little tank push. We do have combat shields finishing up. Stim is done. And let's see if Kelazhur knows a couple cheeky spots for the siege tanks. Actually puts them in front, and almost both of them get picked off before the Marines are there to defend them. Looks a little sloppy, but maybe he just kind of baited them in. And now slow Banelings, Lings, and Queens are trying to deal with this. Elazer is waiting as long as possible to deal with this army so that the trade is as cost efficient as possible for Elazer. Meanwhile, we see mutas in the main of Kelazhur just ransacking the base. 18 SCVs go down in the counter. Oh, that's almost 20, but barely no drink for us boys. And wow, that seems like Kelazhur is in the dumps right now. He is down 20 plus workers. Elazer sitting pretty on 5 bases. Creep spread is looking okay-ish. Could be worse. And the mutas are still alive and being rebuilt. The only thing that Kelazhur has going for him are these 2-2 upgrades that are going to finish before the Zergs, which is the giant downside of these quick muta builds, which is why a lot of Zergs don't prefer these, because if your mutas get caught, or they don't really get damage done, or the Terran hits really sharp timings, it's so difficult. if you made a couple mistakes, you're probably dead. And I love this. Burrow is underway. Burrow banelings, baby. Let's go. Show it to us, Elazer. Show us how it's done. Well, I really hope that this style gets more popular amongst both the ladder warriors and also the pros. And here we are, 9 more Mutalisk. This guy's making mutas, baby. 94 workers as well. So he has some economy to spend. 2-2 hasn't started though. So I hope he starts those soon. +1 melee and +1... Oh, there they go. 2-2 is underway because you really need to start those ASAP. Because the longer you wait, the bigger the timing for Kelazhur. And that is Kelazhur's big ticket back into this game. You max out, and even though you were behind economically, you now have an army lead. Because we're both maxed, but you have better upgrades. And that's when, as the Terran, you push out. You take a 5th, because somehow he has a 4th. Ooh, this big marine medevac clump gets cleaned up by the Mutalisk. And this Lingbane force. Making sure that no extra base is taken over here. Banshee's looking around for a couple Baneling kills. Nothing is more annoying to a Zerg player than having your Lingbane force being pelted by these nasty, annoying Banshees. And we see +3 attack underway right away by Kelazhur. He knows what's up. He knows what his, well, advantage is. He has a Thor underway. We see Drilling Claws underway. Is there another factory? Yes, there's... Is there? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. There's another factory making mines. I love this. Or mine bio against Ling Bling Mira. That's really strong. If there's like 2 Thors, it's only so annoying to control your Mira because you can clump them like that and you get blown up by either the mines or the Thors. And you also don't want your Banes to crash into the Thors. Not singular Thors. But Elazer's just expanding across the map. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases already. And he sees no sign of, shows no sign of stopping. Hive is underway. If this finishes, he can start 3-3 and Cracklings and perhaps an Ultralisk Den as well. And then he'll be in a really comfortable position. I would even like to see him add a couple Infestors. Ooh, burrowed Banelings here, but they're near the creep. And if you play Zerg, you know that these goddamn Terrans always scan just before the creep for no reason. And then they see your Banes, and you're like, God damn it. That's a lot of Banelings. They just kind of kill a Thor here. Try to move in. Try to just shave off the Terran forces, because look at Elazer's money. He doesn't have to be cost efficient at this point. He just needs to make sure that Kelazhur doesn't get more bases. Because that just stretches out the game and gives him a chance to fight back. Now we saw Elazer did not elect to do a timing attack with 2-2. 3 more CCs on their way. We're going to wait for them to finish before I call another drink. So Kelazhur now has to wait for 3-3 before he has another timing on the Zerg. And I really hope for Kelazhur here that he opts to use that timing to perhaps get some damage done. Look at all these Baneling landmines, though. That is so cool. Elazer's controlling the map, making it so annoying to move around. If these Marines just kind of wander over there to be like, oh, what's over there? Boom, baby. Death and pain. That's what's there. You always have to keep scanning. As soon as you've seen some Baneling landmines, you're like, well, I cleared the creep, but now there might be Baneling landmines over there. Damn, Elazer wants us to drink. He didn't even snipe this SCV. He's like, nah, I'm gonna let that finish. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bottoms up, boys. Whilst Elazer marches in with a big Baneling force. Cheers. Sorry about that. And although Elazer threw away half his army there, he rebuilds on 7 Ultralisks and a bunch of upgrades. And this is kind of, as Kelazhur, if you know this is happening, you want to be pushing out. Oh, there's gold bases in the corner. There's only a gold base in the left corner. What? Okay, there's a gold base in the left bottom corner. That Elazer also asked, but are these rich geysers then? That would be cool. These give rich minerals, these give rich gas. That would be cool. But now these Ultralisks are about to spawn, and we see a nuke under construction. We might be taking a sip for that. Launching later. And slowly but surely we have been just... We're back in another late game scenario with Elazer versus Kelazhur, and Elazer just looks so comfortable against this. He just has more money than he knows what to do with. Except for gas. He has a lot of gas here. Damn, these small Ultralisks pack a punch. But as soon as the banelings and links in front of them are gone and he is not on top of the army, he retreats. And I mean, the creep is literally at Kelazhur's 6th base here. So, very hard. Oh, there goes the nuke. Guys, enjoy your drink, whatever it may be. And damn, he did kill 2 creep tumors with that, and that's the sign for Elazer to move in once more with the Ultralisks, the banelings, and the Zerglings. 3-3 is done for the Zerg. Sadly, these queens can't transfuse the Ultras, but there's nothing alive. The 5th base of Kelazhur is dead once more, and there's some tanks and Thors and Ghost here trying to hold on, and these are pretty good at killing Ultralisk. But 100 Zerglings is underway to infest these Terran waters once more. What do you do as Kelazhur here? You're just stuck on your side of the map, and don't get me wrong, it's a pretty small island that you have left here. There are some mines that managed to kill 12 drones at the gold base. Nice harass, but does Elazer really care at this point? Command center is actually burning down slowly but surely. If you look at the supply, Kelazhur still has an army. He can be cost efficient here, which is about the only thing that he can try and do. Just outlast this Zerg. Let him overextend into you. And then slowly but surely take it aggressively but well-traded fights. Just be more cost efficient and eventually take back some parts of the map, but damn, there goes a baneling force. Kills another set of SCVs and another PF, and there's more to come. Kelazhur just can't establish another base. And another Ling Bane Ultralisk crash comes in. He's like the sea, just crashing in with waves once again and again and again, and they won't stop coming. If we look at the bases, we see 1 mined out base, 2 almost mined out bases, half a mined out base, more than half mined out, and we see only 1 fresh base for Kelazhur. And now we look at his money, we look at the income. Elazer is more than doubling the mineral income of Kelazhur, and even though Kelazhur just dropped a bunch of mules, like, Elazer is rich and then some. He's like Jeff Bezos right now on this map. On Goldenaura. Sure, he could cure world hunger, but you can also just make 40 Banes. Or 24 Banes. We do see a nice drop by Kelazhur, but these units won't be retreating because there's a lot of anti-air. This is like 12 Corruptors here, ready to... 14 Corruptors here, ready to snipe all the medevacs. Punishing moves like this. You can't retreat if your air support is dead. And another wave comes crashing onto the beach. That is Kelazhur's 5th base. And Elazer just doesn't give a damn. Mass repairing the PF, and somehow Kelazhur manages to hold on, but look at the supply. He's 140 and he can't replenish this army anymore. Whilst Elazer, although his bank has been depleted somewhat, it is far from gone, and with his income, he will rebuild it as fast... Very fast is what I'm trying to say here. And the Ling Ultras here to surround this Bioforce. No air support for you. Cloaked Ghost trying to get out here, but there's a lot of Overseers that were not targeted down. And the Lings come in, the Ultralists come in, and another wave crashes onto the beach. The Siege Tanks die, the Ghosts die, and more of them are being hunted down. This PF is standing his ground, but this is starting to become just desperately painful for Kelazhur. He knows that he needs to beat Elazer in this Group A, because there's a lot of heavy hitters in this group, and if you can't beat Elazer, then suddenly you have to beat Showtime. You have to beat Hearthstone. You have to beat... Shit, I don't know. Hero Marine. You have to beat Hero Marine and a TVT. Now that's a tall order. So every match matters, and especially this one, Kelazhur just kind of... If he can just pull out this one win, just this one miracle win, suddenly his position in the group is so much better. So I really admire that he's sticking in there and he's trying to take that base, but oh my god, look at the map. Really, look at the map. The entire map is just covered in Zerg goo. And we see a hot pickup by the Medivacs here. If only you had researched the Medivac speed upgrade, you would be getting away from these corruptors, but you're not. And all of the Terran forces go down in the skies, and another wave comes in to crash into the Terran beach area over here. And the floods are everywhere. It's not just New York, baby. It's your base. Lings, Banes, Ultralists come in, and they see that these bases are completely dry, so they're just here to kill more units. It doesn't have to be cost efficient. It just needs to make sure that the Terran dies, slowly but surely. Efficiency is not the name of the game, it's just getting this Terran to get the F out of my game. And just like that, Elazer takes this best of 3, 2-1. Guys, thank you for watching. Sorry that the cast was a little messy. I had to get the message out somehow at the start of this game. Please do let me know what you drank during this game, or what you're planning to drink during the following games, because I'll be covering a lot of the real HomeStory Cup. I'm planning to cover half the group stage and the entire playoffs, so that's going to be a lot of matches. If there's matches you want me to cover for sure, put it in the comments down below. And other than that, I can just hope that you enjoyed this video and that I'll see you next time. Be sure to like and comment and subscribe and everything. It helps. Thank you. Cheers.